here. The great mage
Hello?
needs to speak
Is
to
someone
you.
out there? I seem to have locked myself in. Who's out there? Oh, no, never mind. I don't care. I just want to get out of here. It's dark and it's cramped and it smells like an Argonian's armpit. I recognize that voice. I knew you'd come and find me. As for my current predicament, how was I supposed to know it was a trap? The door slammed shut and locked behind me. So, do a dark elf a favor and open the door like a good apprentice? Please? There's probably a button or something nearby. In my experience, there's always something pushable. I remember seeing Daedric symbols on plates along the wall. Try pushing a button that's divisible by 3. 3 has always been lucky for me. Now you're just trying to prolong my agony. Divisible by 3. Try pushing the 6th panel from the left, or the 3rd panel, or maybe the 8th panel. Any of the panels in a position that's divisible by 3. Something just shocked me. No! What are you doing out there? All right, that was just mean. Ouch! Try pushing the correct button this time. Another obstacle overcome by the great Narcissus Dren. I find that escaping from an ancient trap really gets the heart pumping, provided it doesn't take too long, of course. I couldn't have done it without your relatively minor contribution. Thank you. Indeed, Veloth Tomb. Now we need to locate the hidden passages mentioned in the scroll, and the relics of St. Veloth will be mine. To write about in my next book, of course. Stick close, apprentice. These tombs can be dangerous to the unwary. St. Veloth? Perhaps. It's more likely he's buried in his shrine in Deshan. This is the family tomb. Did I tell you my mother traces her lineage to this noble line? Whatever we're going to find, it won't happen if we keep standing here. So? One of them. And it's one of the larger and more significant ones, too. You should visit the place if you're ever in that part of the world. Now, I'd really like to get on with the exploring, if you don't mind. I could tell you, but I work on an instinctual level. I know relics of historic value when I see them. Apprentice, you lead the way. I expect that locked door was the worst this tomb has in store for us. It's smooth sailing from here, I'm certain. Yes. The old scroll. It did mention hidden passages. That's what attracted me in the first place. So I'll look for relics and hidden passages, while you keep an eye out for any unexpected dangers. See? We make a great team, apprentice. This might be Veloth's long sought-after right pauldron. According to the old scroll, there's a secret entrance that leads to the hidden passages somewhere in this chamber. I don't see any obvious lever or switch. That's too bad. Examine anything that looks unusual. That harp, for instance. That's an odd accoutrement for a burial chamber. I also spot an old tome strategically placed for our reference. Interesting. I need to supervise. You are my apprentice, after all. Now get down there and find the hidden passage. Only the richest, most well-to-do families could afford to hide their true resting places so that no one could disturb or defile them. Imagine. Historical research isn't defilement. It's enriching the knowledge of future generations. My calling is noble and above reproach. It says so in my very first book. Now go find that entrance. I doubt there's anything related to St. Veloth in this chamber. Perhaps that dusty old tome will suggest suitable offerings. Dust makes me... Still, the inscription on that pedestal might reveal something. Do give it a look, apprentice. brazier ignited. That's a good sign. Nothing happened. Something really should have happened. You're a natural, although I suppose my mentoring has honed your talent. Happy to see the ancestors are materializing. Oh, well done. Perhaps I should charge for my tutelage. We did it! On to the Undertomb, apprentice. There's treasure nearby. I can practically smell it. Isn't it exciting? We're the first living creatures to set foot down here in more than 100 years. This will definitely get an entire chapter in my next book. And that surprises you. Haven't you read my books? This is very similar to that time I unearthed the secret chambers of the Master Thief of Elsewhere. A pity my apprentice on that excursion refused to heed my advice. Walked right into a nasty trap. Going first? That's an honor I wouldn't dream of denying you. And I'll be right behind you, offering advice and watching for opportunities to teach valuable lessons. You won't get this kind of an education at any university or academy. Something along those lines, but he was too eager, running ahead before I could offer him the advantage of my experience. You don't seem to have that quirk. In fact, quite the opposite. It seems like you want to stand here and talk forever. We search. You lead the way, while I watch for the telltale signs of a valuable item of historic significance. Hopefully even a relic of Saint Veloth himself. Ooh, this is the part where our adventure gets really exciting. Oh, that's a skill I developed. Finally honed in the heat of battle, both metaphorical and physical. So lead on, my erstwhile apprentice, and do watch for any guardians or traps that might be waiting in hiding. Nothing important in there. An ornate coffer. I'll take a look while you deal with any other issues that may arise. Keep your eyes peeled for traps, apprentice. I'm sure you can handle this. not something you see every day. Great opportunity for you to impress me, though. I believe I see the treasure vault on the other side of this chamber. Away, foul creatures! The bracelet of Indrel Belor, I'm sure of it! these trapped spaces and their tempting gaps. I hate to be a bother, but could you get me out of here, please? So good of you to notice. I'm quite proud of my ability to turn any situation into a dramatic scene for my next book. Anyway, I believe you'll find another series of wall plates to push in the chamber to my right. That's a rather ungrateful attitude, after I graciously agreed to take you under my wing. If you don't let me out, however, we won't be able to use the key I found in here. I'm quite certain it opens the way into the next section of the tomb. Almost certainly. The scroll clearly described a final treasure vault, and we haven't come across anything like that yet. So, do a dark elf a favor and go push a wall plate. It's the second one from the left. Or is it the right?